You're rocking with the best.
Started out with a stack of bills, hand-me-down suit, no fancy skills. Library card, late nights, cheap coffee, highlight ink on every page, e-copy. No letters on the wall, just notes on the floor. Scratch math running down the old front door. Every question that the others left fade, he turned into a rule and a plan he made. Time to start to teacher, build it all from broken pieces. Read the books, the words got weaker. Turn confusion into secret.
You're rocking with the best.
Who's the mind behind the speakers? Tell them that's my quiet leader. Time to start a teacher's teacher. He can turn a red line black in a week. Balance out the numbers while he barely speaks. Spread.
You're rocking with the best. We're about to take it back.
Got my teacher.
We're about to take it back. You're rocking with the best.
Started out with a stack of bills, hand-me-down suit, no fancy skills. Library card, late nights, cheap coffee, highlight ink on every page, e-copy. No letters on the wall, just notes on the floor. Scratch math running down the old front door. Every question that the others left fade, he turned into a rule and a plan he made. Time to start a teacher, build it all from broken pieces. Read the books, the words got weaker. Turn confusion into secret.
You're rocking with the best.
Who's the mind behind the speakers? Tell them that's my quiet leader. Time to start a teacher's teacher. He can turn a red line black in a week. Balance out the numbers while he barely speaks. Spreadsheets open like a map of his mind. Sees a hidden pattern where the rest go blind. Court dates circled in a second-hand phone. Drafts every filing like it's carved in stone. Plain white paper but the case shines through. Judge starts seeing what he already knew. Time to start a teacher's teacher. Build it all from broken pieces. Read the codes, the words got clearer. Found the cracks and closed the leaks in every form, each line, each feature. He's a quiet, heavy thinker. Tell him that's my steady leader. Time to start the teacher's teacher. No cap, no down, no.
You're rocking with the best.
But he wrote every page. Self-taught, self-made, self-drive. That fire turned out into something higher. We don't just follow, we climb behind him. He draws a map, we rise inside it. Time to start the teacher's teacher. Build it all from broken pieces. Turn those late night scrolls in research into freedom, into defense. When they ask who shapes the future, who we call when things get deeper, we just point and say our leader. Time to start the teacher's teacher. Started with a stack of bills, now he's signing better deals.
You're rocking with the best.
To the speaker, time to start a teacher's teacher.
But they were in his classes. They didn't even know. They had to Google it while we was live. So you're teaching people about Forms 1099B and none of them knows the regulations that govern them? But as soon as I bring it out, now people want to start reading the regulations. I swear to God, when I say I'm your teacher's teacher, I'm your teacher's teacher. The question is, if all these gurus on social media got the sauce, why aren't they attracting professionals? Professionals in those fields where they could come back and be like, yeah, what he's saying is absolutely right. None of them got professionals behind them, so it's all a theory. It's a belief system. That's all it is. They ain't got no professional they could be like, yo, you're right. None of them. They don't give a damn about what. Give a some on TikTok and social media.
It is that I want to tell the class and whoever that's listening is that if you pay attention to the things that he teaches in this class and start taking notes, do your homework. Do your homework. You know, he can only lead a horse to water, but he can't make it drink. You have to drink yourself. Missed 85% of the classes and stuff, but I had the core things and the core principles down, and I read whatever he put out there. I throw it on my iPad and just start scrolling and reading.
Who securitize their contracts or receivables? Why is it that all of them follow the same so-called rules? They all use the same script. They all file the same forms. They file all the regulatory form. Now, they may be deceptive as hell on those contracts, but why is it that if this was so many different ways to skin the cat, why are all of them following the same method? If it was 20 different ways to skin the cat, why is all of them following?
That's my teacher's teacher. That's my teacher's teacher, my God. He's a genius. Finance. Core filings. He really got the ball rolling. Hey.
He don't have no background, it's all self-taught. These online gurus, they all copy his style. He said, Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Oh.
Welcome to the New Culture Empire livestream broadcasting live on YouTube. In today's session, we will be reviewing a court case involving an attorney and the use of AI. Also, we will be reviewing another wet ink signature claim. Please be advised that all opinions of Thomas are his own and are in no way to provide legal assistance and assumes no liability for any actions, results, or outcomes from the opinions expressed in this live stream. If you are interested in legal assistance, please send an email to thomaslegacy603@gmail.com. All services offered will be available upon request. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the New Culture Empire on all major social media platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to the new channel, Drama News, exclusively on YouTube.
Run it up, running in bang. Whipping up, he got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, I can't claim. You look like you wanna let go straight. What's up? I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on the band. What's up? I thought so, okay, yeah.
You're rocking with the best.
Gotta say it again.
You're rocking with the best.
For those in the back,
You're rocking with the best.
welcome to another episode of the New Culture Empire live on this Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to him. How old will he be today if he was still alive? Somebody put that in the chizzy. You are live in the building with the New Culture Empire, hosted truly by yours truly, your teacher's teacher. We have merch on the way. We got the New Culture merch, your teacher's teacher merch on the way. Hoodies, sweaters, jackets, pants, things for the kids, things for the ladies, just to keep this empire and this movement running right along. Now, been a little MIA past couple of days. I've been getting a lot of things done behind the scenes, as well as getting my new channel off the ground, which I hope that you all please subscribe to. Ooh, my bad. My bad. Drama News. Please subscribe to Drama News. It's going to be at the end of the video. Drama News 2026 on YouTube. Already in 2 short days, we have 110 subscribers. In 48 short, quick hours, over 1,500 views across the channel already. So y'all, let's continue to move as we expand the empire. Now, today is a very, 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 very important topic that I want to discuss, and we're going to actually see it live. Now, I tried to tell people online that the AI technology, of course, it's taken over, it's global, it has its benefits. There's a lot of benefits with the use of AI. It helps scale up production, it helps formalize things. You can get more things done in least amount of time. The problem with AI when using specifically Chat GPT to draft legal complaints, to draft arguments, the problem is most people look to AI to give them the answers instead of using AI to enhance the answers that you already know. So, prime example, let's say that there is no case law regarding accounting and ASC. Well, you know that they put that in Chat GPT, and they know Chat GPT came back with some things that didn't align to what they think. So the thing with AI is you already have to know a lot of the parameters. Like, you already have to know the case law. You already have to know the rules and regulations, the parameters. You already have to know these things. Only thing that AI does is uses those parameters and builds off it. The difference between a lot of legal professionals that use AI and the average person that use AI, a lot of legal professionals built their own internal models inside the Chat GPT frame or the Thomas Reuther frame or these other AI frames. They built their internal metrics. So that takes a lot of time, money. You have to run stress tests on it. You got to make sure it doesn't hallucinate. You got to make sure it's not giving you case law that doesn't exist. And there are a lot of people that don't understand to really integrate AI into your legal, endeavors. It takes time, it takes money, and it takes a lot of tests that you have to run on it in order to get it to think just like, like putting the legal system into the model. So the uphill battle for a lot of people is, if you only know the sovereign citizen way, if you don't know professional adequate case laws, if you don't know the real authority, the only thing you're doing is feeding AI your limited knowledge, and it's going to do is spit your limited knowledge back out to you. And of course, you can manipulate AI to say what it wants to say or override its its parameters. I know there's a lot of teachers that AI comes back and says, no, you cannot do that. Plenty of court cases have told you doesn't exist, but they'll say, hey, we'll just put it in a hypothetical and just type it up for me. And then they'll go post it online. Because I've seen a lot of teachers post what AI have said regarding what they believe is true. And I know they overrode the system and just made it say what they wanted it to say. But AI, once again, it is only as good as the information and the knowledge you put into it. So when you're building these AI models, the data that you have to input in it First of all, it already has to be fireproof. It can't be no inaccurate information that's you're building into your model. I have a litigation model, and it took months to build. And as a matter of fact, thank you to some of the professionals on my team, because I'm not going to say what this person is, but let's just say they work in some of the top levels of this system. Let's just say that. I do not want to, do too much. And let's just say well over 10,000 hours were put into the building of the model. So while a lot of people struggle to find case law to back up what they're saying, what I do is I already know case law I got about 75 cases that I can prove and show, especially related to mortgages. I input all those cases into my model, and those are the parameters set. And then I build all around those cases. But even if you have a top level model, you still have to do the proofreading. You still have to make sure anything that you file is accurate. You still have to do your research. You still have to cite out these court cases. You have to know the baseline of these cases. You still have to be able to argue these cases. AI, if used correctly, it's good for drafting and the parameters, but you still have to know the facts and circumstances of your case. You still have to know the elements of the cases that are applicable to yours when you cite them. And AI does not help you with in-court legal arguments. You still have to know the case. So although AI is a good tool, you still have to be careful when using it, especially when you're relying on AI to give you the answers instead of using AI to help you build on your foundation in the answers. So pretty much before you put things in AI, you already pretty much have to understand what's going on. Hey, these are not my words. This is just, I'm bringing it to your attention, because when you create these AI drafted legal documents in court, you are going to get in trouble, because the AI drafted documents in court, and when it's spot out, and the courts are going to know when you're citing AI, and even worse, citing case law that doesn't exist. You can get sanctioned, you can get fined, it can jeopardize your whole case. It's a lot of dangers of using AI to help you come up with the answers instead of using AI to build the parameters and the internal models that you set. Now, when it comes to mortgages and applications, yes, they use AIs, the metrics, to see who's going to get approved or not. But the problem is they're not just saying, hey, AI, what do you think about this borrower? They already got their internal metrics built in, which takes a lot of time and money. So AI has its benefits. It also comes with its risks. If you don't understand how to use artificial intelligence, I'd advise you to seek a competent attorney, or you can send an email at the bottom of the screen. Regardless of AI or not, the vigorous research that it takes to build a solid foundation, it cannot be circumvented. It cannot be no shortcuts. You're either going to go through that phase or you're not. I encourage everyone to go through that phase. I encourage everyone to do it. I don't care if it takes you 10 years. As long as during those 10 years, you're moving effectively. You're making strides. Your understanding is increasing. And the reason why I say understanding is 98% of the remedy, because once you have understanding, a lot of the questions are, how do I do this? How do I say this? How do I do that? How do I put this here? What do I say next? What do I do next? Understanding is already going to answer those questions before you even ask them.
You're rocking with the best.
So without further ado, let's tap into it. Oh, and shout out to Fair Use Purposes. Let me get my flowers. Shout out to Court Nerds. Shout out to Court Nerds for bringing this video.
He knows exactly how it happened, and he knew then how it happened. You know, we can't live in a system where this is how we operate, and it's just not how the process is supposed to work.
In today's case, we're back in the courtroom of Judge Hayward in Clayton County, Georgia, because the last hearing had to be stopped entirely. The judge learned an attorney used AI to generate legal case citations and filed them as real law without verifying them. The hearing was shut down.
For fair use purposes, I gotta pause it between. YouTube has become real strict. You cannot just play the videos out there. You gotta pause. But right there, this is a legal attorney, y'all. This is a licensed attorney. He can use his license. Actually, it's an embarrassment. That is an embarrassment. And this is what I mean. AI will cite cases that does not even exist. And if you're just relying on everything that AI says, then this is where understanding comes in at. Because how would you know if AI is citing the case correctly or incorrect? Hell, it doesn't take much to fact check AI. Like, you have to fact check it as well to make sure it's providing you adequate case law. But this is very dangerous.
A bar referral was made, and opposing counsel was told to return with arguments on sanctions. This hearing exists to address that conduct and how much using ChatGPT to do legal filings is going to cost him.
Melina Hostin Cruz versus Diaris Nellums, Peachtree Truck Leasing versus ProMed Imaging, and Unified Medical. But essentially the case took a turn because at the last meeting, the attorney for Caston Cruz, the plaintiff, Mr. Tristan Gillespie, presented a document to the court that had, I guess, was created by an AI application, an artificial intelligence application, and there were cases cited to and presented to the court as legal authority that did not exist. And so the court made a
did not exist. Did not exist? Attorney, are you crazy? You don't, I don't care if AI drafted the whole complaint. You have to go back and fact check every word. You got to make sure the transitions in your arguments, that you're still following the court rules. You got to make sure it's lining up. It's lining up. You got to make sure it's so strong that pretty much the other side, they're going to try. They may still try move for summary judgment, but it's going to make it to the point where the court is going to be hesitant to move for summary judgment. Like, they can file their summary judgment all they want, and the court is just probably just going to sit on it. Sit on it. Speaking of that, we're going to get into that as well.
record assisted by the Mr. Kennedy, who's the attorney for the defendant, who had gone through and basically noted all of the instances where there were documents, where there were cases cited in the document, but they did not, were not actually cases under Georgia law to which the court could lean for legal authority. All right, so at that point, I informed Mr. Gillespie that I would be sending this information to the state bar, which I did. And I have not heard back from them other than that they have received the information and it is in process with the general counsel for the state bar. But I did tell Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Gillespie that we would reconvene to determine what sanctions, if any, the court would impose. All right, and so I have Ms. Middleton. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I represent Plaintiff Cruz. We filed an entry of appearance on December 31st I did I left counsel a voicemail this morning, and we do have plans to connect after this hearing.
All right, so Mr. Kennedy,
Mr. Kennedy at the bottom is the one that's moving for sanctions. Mr. Gillespie on the right is the one that used Chat GPT to draft the legal filing. And in that filing, he cited cases that didn't even exist. And this is the attorney, y'all. Bar licensed attorney. So when it comes down to pro se litigants, once again, you have to be careful when you use AI. If you are using AI to give you answers, the problem with that is if you don't know the answer, then you are not going to know when it gives you a court case that doesn't even exist. Most people will put AI, draft the response to this, attach their files, draft the response, they spit out a response or retype it up, and then they'll just go file it. And then when they get caught out on AI, they want to run to Thomas and say, hey, help me. And this is why understanding comes into play. This is why understanding comes into play. This is why the Supreme Elite Team University is going to be more important, because you're going to know how to decipher which case laws are relevant, which case laws are important, and which case laws you can just disregard because it doesn't align to the elements of your case.
I did ask you for your suggestions for the any sanctions that the court might issue in this case, but I think I need to hear from Mr. Gillespie first, because Mr. Gillespie, I gave you an opportunity to respond. And essentially, from what I understand, the basis of your response is that you relied upon the app to assure you that it was correct.
That's right, Judge. I'll confess the technology is new to me, and thanks to this case and the motion and Your Honor, certainly much more educated about the pitfalls and dangers and so forth. And clearly, it's not sufficient to rely on large language models to, I guess, verify or validate case citations, and so much so that we went through the effort and expense of getting proper legal research software, which of course I use solely now, rely on heavily. I think at this point, before we get into a discussion about any possible sanctions, I think it probably would make a certain amount of sense to wait to see what the Georgia Bar thinks of my response. I think it would be premature to impose any sanctions until we saw if they saw any validity to the defense that I raised and that I just explained.
Okay, Mr. Gillespie, apart from what the bar might opine as to the response that you gave, you filed a pleading with the court that was replete with cases that did not exist and were not, in fact, legal authority.
One of the worst things you can ever do when you're making an argument, responding to a complaint, is cite cases that doesn't even exist. Your credibility with that court is shot at the moment. As a matter of fact, the rippling effect is you're not going to be able, you're definitely not stating a claim upon which relief could be granted. You're definitely not following the court rules, because it says all cases citing authority must be legal, must be valid. You're not doing that. You could be hit with a frivolous filing. You can get hit with sanctions. You can get your case dismissed. Summary judgment can be issued right off the break.
You're rocking with the best.
And as a member of the bar, you're responsible for whatever you file with the court. And if you file information that is incorrect, erroneous, untrue, then you're responsible for those filings. You have delayed the course of this case because I could not even undertake the matter, the primary matter that involved the plaintiffs and defendants in this case. I had to spend court time addressing the fact that you sent in a brief that was essentially fiction. And so based on that, what the bar decides to do with respect to your violation of the legal canons and rules that govern members of the bar is separate and apart from your wasting court's time, you're diverting the court's attention from the primary issues in this case, and taking away from the plaintiffs and the defendants' opportunity to be heard. You've elongated this case in a way that wasn't necessary because now the court does not have faith in your ability to represent the plaintiff in this case. I'm appreciative that Ms. Middleton has come into the case to represent Ms. Caston Cruz because I would not feel comfortable going forward with you as the attorney solely representing Ms. Caston Cruz based on your performance here before the court. So, Mr. Kennedy, did you have a suggestion for what you wish to have happen in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, and I did file the motion for sanctions, which you encouraged me to file after our last hearing. And I would just point out, I mean, it's not just like this was one brief; this was several briefs.
Whoa! Several briefs. Do you know? You know what I hear when I see that? That's laziness. That's laziness. As an attorney, there's no excuse for that. He ought to be ashamed of himself. The embarrassment, and if he had oh my gosh. Never, ever. Several briefs. Now, I can understand that from a pro se litigant, but a licensed, he can lose his career behind this. And I'm telling, and here's the thing. Normally, I would give you a pro se example as why y'all shouldn't do it, but you're getting one from an attorney why you shouldn't do it. What better example, just to pay attention to what I'm saying, than learning from the mistakes of an attorney? And don't think just because you're pro se that you won't get sanctioned. The courts can sanction you too and make you pay fines and fees. Come on now.
Were filed before the court that contain these same problems. And I think bare minimum under OCGA 91514, I would ask for my client's reimbursement of all of our fees.
Playing from Tristan's iPhone.
All right, don't know what that was.
Sir.
Yep. All of our fees up to this point, because like you said, basically all we've done at this point is deal with these issues. We haven't even gotten to the substance of the case, and it's already been, we're getting close to a year since the complaint was filed. And it's just been a waste of time and an expansion of the case to this point. But I would also ask you to just dismiss this case, Your Honor. I think as you pointed out in our last hearing, the content or the conduct has been direct contumacious conduct to the court. It's written documents submitted to the court as legal authority in support of legal arguments which have no basis in Georgia law and are just fictitious. And we can't live in a system where this is how we operate. And
that is one of the worst things you can ever hear from an attorney, that you cited fictitious cases. And this serves as a warning. This serves as a warning to all of you. Do not think you're going to cut corners by using AI.
it's just not how the process is supposed to work. We can get into the way this case has gone down too, but we've had issues with getting discovery responses. We've got a summary judgment motion pending right now based on failure to respond to discovery. It's not just only the AI and use of AI, which I'll also point out.
Hold on. You heard what he said? We have a summary judgment. What did I say earlier? you do that, they can immediately move for summary judgment because by default, you haven't stated a claim and you haven't followed the court rules. So by the technical reading of the rules, you have not raised any genuine material issues of fact by citing a fictitious case. And the lawyer just seconded me. The lawyer just said the same thing because I was thinking the same thing. By default, you would, and that's how technical court is. Those little mistakes that you make will be crystallized and magnified by the other side. If I was the opposing attorney, I would immediately move for summary judgment because by default of these fictitious cases, you have not stated a viable claim. And if since you haven't stated a viable claim, then there's no genuine issue in material fact. So we, by default, are moving for summary judgment. Oh, yes, sir. I would have done the same thing that lawyer did.
You gave him a chance to tell you this last time, and he said nothing. I mean, we called it out and we asked him what was going on, and the response was, you want me to provide additional briefing, or just, oh goodness, not sure how that happened. And now we find out he knows exactly how it happened, and he knew then how it happened, and he didn't tell us, and that's just a violation of the lawyer's basic duty of candor to the tribunal, Your Honor. And I don't think that bringing in another lawyer necessarily absolved all the prior behavior and sins of counsel, so to speak. And you can just now wash it all away and move on because we've got another lawyer involved. I mean, my clients have been prejudiced by this. We've got significant questions about this case anyways, outside of all these issues, which I'm happy to get into further, but I would ask this case be dismissed and my clients be reimbursed for their fees and expenses up to this point. And I provided you an affidavit as to that number back in August when I filed the motion. It's part of my motion for sanctions, where I also outlined all the instances of the cases that have been either are just totally fictitious or were cited for like a completely different proposition than what they were, than what the cases actually say. And so that's exhibit D to that motion. It's my affidavit of fees.
All right.
If I may add, Your Honor, we don't disagree with the procedural history of this case, but we would like to object to counsel's dismissal.
Wouldn't be my dismissal, it'd be the court's dismissal, but.
And I feel her, y'all. She's in a tight spot. She's the new counsel in the case. She's in a tight spot. I mean, procedurally, she has to request that it be denied. She's in an uphill battle. She's just coming in. So she's trying to play damage control the best way possible. She really doesn't have a leg to stand on, but she has to do something. And this is the tight spot that this attorney put her in by relying on AI to not only make legal arguments, but cite cases, all because he said this was a new case and he wasn't familiar with these types of claims. Okay, then you're supposed to get off the case and reassign it to someone that can, but you probably already took the money.
Well, your suggestion of the dismissal.
Okay.
Dismissal. Okay. All right. Well, you say you're objecting. You got to give me some basis for your objection.
Yes, Your Honor. So the plaintiff here has terminated previous counsel. It's my understanding previous counsel has also been terminated from the firm as well. My basis on the objection would be that plaintiff had, no idea this was going on, and as such, shouldn't be prejudiced because of this. My goal would be to get this case back on track. It's my understanding there was a consent motion to discovery filed with discovery expiring, I believe, the first week in March. So we would want to be as diligent as possible and still maintaining that deadline and getting the case back on track.
I want to be mindful that the parties in this case are not the primary drivers when it comes to filing motions and attending to court processes. And so if I'm going to sanction in any case someone who's acting on behalf of the parties, if Ms. Caston Cruz is unaware that her attorney is filing fiction, it would be unnecessarily punitive to her. I get that the case has not moved in a manner that is expected. But civil cases tend to have issues with timing anyway. Civil cases can, there's no real expectation of how long a civil case is going to take. We hope for things to be done in a timely manner. We have a structure for how discovery should be conducted. We have a structure for how cases should proceed, but mere timeliness is not something that we can really, that's really a factor that we can guess about or know about from the outset. What I do have is a desire to make Mr. Kennedy's clients whole, in as much as he's had to respond to these motions, he's had to spend court time, he's had to spend office time, he's had to address all of these filings, and then the volume of the filings, when really to tell me to file a huge filing just to tell me that you relied on ChatGPT to tell you that ChatGPT was right. We had a training for judges about the use of AI, and essentially the main thing that was beaten into our heads was, you are responsible for everything that is produced.
They get trained on these things. They will be able to tell if your whole case is 100% AI generated. They're going to be able to spot it out. The only way you can get around that is if everything is spot on in the presentment. It has to be 100% spot on. There's no 99% in court. There's no 98, 97. Every filing has to be 100% spot on. That's just how court works.
Whether you use an artificial intelligence application or not, there are ways to use it to effectively manage the workload of cases and documents and having to read tons of filings, but you can't rely upon, especially something that is open source material at this point, like ChatGPT is open to anybody, and it is not an application specifically for use as a legal artificial intelligence.
Right there is my point I'm trying to make. It's an open platform. So when you're using GPT as your database, you have to build an internal database inside ChatGPT that deals with all legal parameters. Everything dealing with legal has to be built in your own internal. You can use ChatGPT as a server, but you have to build your own model inside of it. And this is what a lot of online students, online gurus, they need to have the capacity to do it. They lack the understanding of court and the rules to do it. So if you're lacking all the important details and information and understanding to build a legit legal model, what can you actually put into it? You're only going to be able to put into it is what you understand. So this is why it's important to have understanding before you do these things. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about the mindset that comes with understanding. You're going to avoid roadblocks and potential hiccups and be able to spot them long before they become manifested. You're going to be able to anticipate better. Most people only think like right next step. They can't think 3, 4, 5 steps down the field, how to legally, strategically maneuver through a court proceeding, because the court proceedings is like, all right, you throw the ball this way. All right, the ball's back in their court. The ball's back in your court now. At each stage, the burden shifts. All right, you made an argument. The burden shifts on them. Then counter. All right, the burden shifts back to you. So you have to be able to have what I call legal stamina.
Engine. It is software for people. One of my friends uses it as, she says, like, it's like her wife. She'll say, hey, make a grocery list. Hey, write this letter for me. Hey, set up a schedule for my children. And so it is assistive in that way, but you are responsible still, because I'm so old school that this is the phrase that keeps coming to my head: garbage in, garbage out, which we were all told when at the outset of, and I'm old enough to go back to when we switched from typewriters to personal computers, and to software, to the software for personal computers that allowed us to type and produce documents. And so at this point, I'm not inclined to dismiss the case, because I really feel like Ms. Caston Cruz has no clue about the breadth of issues that have popped up that have nothing to do with the merits of this case. However,
That was very fair by the judge, by the way. And I'm think she is extending grace by doing that, because you really can't punish her, the attorney at the bottom, for Gillespie's mistakes. You really can't punish her. And this goes back to show that people think ChatGPT is going to be able to replace the human brain. I don't give a damn what artificial intelligence that comes out with. No ChatGPT will ever be able to replace the human brain.
Gillespie, I'm not inclined to just wait until the bar resolves it, because that has nothing to do with the fact that you have caused an inexcusable delay, that you have not been candid with the court, that you have not done what is necessary for all attorneys to do, which is to manage your work product and make sure that you are producing products before the court, and giving case law and statutes upon which the court can rely. And so with that being said, the court is inclined to grant the sanctions asked for by the defendant, Mr. Kennedy, and to make those sanctions personally payable by you. They are not to be borne by the party in this case, Ms. Caston Cruz, or the firm. Those are sanctions that you should bear yourself, because it was you who made the decision to rely upon an open source AI application to file legal documents, and to not go back through those legal documents to ensure that the case law that you presented was reliable, was true, was not erroneous, was in fact actual case law.
What did I just say? You still have to go back and check the case. You still got to go back and check the filings. You still got to go back and make sure it's accurate. And the judge, once again, is seconding me on that one. She's saying the same thing I just said almost 10 minutes ago. So I always say, if you don't want to listen to me, hey, I'm going to let the judge tell you.
You're rocking with the best.
If you don't want to listen to me, I'm going to let the judge tell you. Because people like to come into the chat after the video is done and give their opinions. They're never going to show up live. But the thing about it is, me and the judge are saying the same things, which gives you all the more reason why the Supreme Elite Team University is going to be beneficial.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline, credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
That a court could rely upon. And I saw it, but I can't find it now. What is the amount that you're seeking, Mr. Kennedy?
So as of August, when I filed this, it was $25,498.08. That's fees and costs.
All right. So, Mr. Gillespie, there will be a judgment against you personally, a sanction against you personally for the amount of $25,000 for $25,498.08 to be paid to Mr. Kennedy. Is that to be paid to your firm?
Yes, ma'am, and then we'll get it back to the insurance company who's paid it.
Fight back, Gillespie. Gillespie, you got to fight back.
Lesson number one, when defending yourself, guard your face. All right, guard your face. You're not guarding your face. Hands up, guard your face.
And Judge, just so I'm clear, that's the entirety of his fees from the beginning of the case till today?
Mr. Kennedy?
That's correct.
I'm not hearing you invite a response to that, but that seems excessive. I understand that that you're
excessive. You filed multiple documents using AI. You sound crazy.
I will slap the shit out of you, boy.
I've been here for almost 17 hours. I don't give a fuck.
Your opinion that that I have caused undue time and expense expended by him, but what I have not heard you say is that 100% of all of his time and thus that fee is attributable solely to my alleged transgressions.
Mr. Kennedy?
I didn't go through and itemize. Like I said, this is just for the whole case. The way I've kind of viewed it is this is all we've been doing in this case so far is basically, him filing, me responding to these types of briefs. But Judge, if you want me to go through and itemize it further, I can do that.
I'm not inclined to do that, and this is why. One brief I could understand, but if this is the tenor of the type of practice that Mr. Gillespie has engaged in this court, and in this case, so I'm not going to nitpick at this point. I feel like from the outset of a case, if you're not practicing law the way you're supposed to practice law, if you are not making sure that you are attentive to the reliability of what you file, the truthfulness of what you file, if you are filing things with no regard to to what your client is entitled to the representation that your client is entitled to, then I do not believe that that is an excessive amount. So $25,498.08, that's to be paid to Mr. Kennedy. That is not to be borne by anyone but Mr. Gillespie.
Judge, is there a timeline you want to put on that?
120 days.
Damn! 120 days. Good God Almighty.
Give me the money.
Okay. Sheesh.
And would you like a proposed order? Or will you have one?
Please submit one.
Okay. Your Honor, if I may, I know you've indicated you're not inclined to, dismiss the case on a sanctions ground. Are you planning on taking up the summary judgment motion today too?
Ms. Middleton, you're just coming into.
Oh, hey, he going in for overkill now. He going in for overkill. Oh, he trying to handicap her. He trying to handicap her. He is trying to do that. Oh man, god damn, Kennedy, she just came in the case.
The case. Can we get back on track with the merits of the case?
I believe so, Your Honor. In all honesty, I have not had a chance to really take a look at that motion for summary judgment. I did see some mentions of reopening default in the docket. If counsel's willing to get this back on track with discovery, I mean, we would have no reason to oppose that. And I'm happy to get on a call with counsel once this hearing wraps as well.
Here's my only issue, Judge. So I filed this motion for summary judgment because they didn't respond to requests for admission, right? So under OCGA 1136, those are just deemed admitted. And the case law is very clear that to overcome those deemed admissions, they've got to provide credible, admissible evidence that would refute them. And there is none right now. I mean, they filed a reply brief that had an affidavit from their client that is inaccurate. And we can go through it if you want. I can show you exactly why. She's got, first of all, a different date of a motor vehicle collision, saying I was involved in a motor vehicle collision on January 4th, 2024 on I-20 in Douglas, Georgia, Douglas County, Georgia. And can I share my screen on here?
Your Honor, if I could be excused, I know a lot of this going forward doesn't pertain to me.
Yes, Mr. Gillespie, you may be excused. We'll get you in order.
Shameful. 100% shameful. I know he is sick. I know he's not going to get any clients anytime soon.
Can you see my screen, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the police report from our case. As you can see, I can try to.
I have December 14th, 2023.
Right, in Gwinnett County, totally different day than in her affidavit, sworn affidavit that has been submitted to this court, which again is just kind of consistent with how things have gone, says that this is the day that she got in a motor vehicle accident and was injured. I mean, I don't know what to do.
All right, y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this one right here, this clip right here. But just to summarize, you don't ever, like I said, you don't ever want to use AI without fully understanding what you're doing. It could lead to a lot of trouble. I know most people feel that pressure coming and courts coming and they don't know what to do. So they just go, AI do it for me. AI do it for me. AI do it for me. AI does not replace the vigorous research and work that goes into submitting a proper and accurate case. It doesn't replace that. We have to stop being mentally lazy if you want the things done. The days of, oh, what I just do, put this here, put this here, put this here, put this here, and go. Those days, I mean, people should already know from the outcomes that that's not the way to go. But we're going to get in to the next one, the wet ink signature, that throughout the weekend, I seen gurus hosting class after class after class after class again, talking about the wet ink signature. Can we please stop it? So y'all, let me give me about 25 seconds. Share the screen, share the live. I'm gonna get back with you in a second and get something to drink, and we're gonna get back to this next live.
Supreme Elite Team, New Cultural Empire. Turn the lights on.
Yeah. Time is lit, numbers on fire. Every screenshot, wire to the choir. Real deals, he ain't gotta say a thing. Receipts in the cloud, make the phone.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume, war stories in the fine lines.
Okay. Now this next video, once again, brought to you by Sovereign Citizen. Hold on, let me make sure I got it right. Sovereign Citizen, Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame. So we got the Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame, and these people have I think a eviction, and the Jose Martinez one's in the middle. They're going to start to ask questions about the, what do you call it? Wet ink signature. I'm telling you, most people ask, well, why don't you teach online? Why do you edit your videos? Or why don't you let us know what you're talking about? Because The game is to be sold, not told. Why would I just tell you? What do I benefit from telling you? I told you I'm not the Messiah. I don't want to be Jesus Christ. I don't want to be praised. So why would I do that? If you really know what you're talking about, you're going to be teaching privately in a controlled setting. Anybody that's just going over this stuff willy-nilly instead of like reactions and reviews, anybody that's just going willy-nilly teaching online, it's all just a money grab. If they really know what they're talking about, it's supposed to be done in a controlled manner.
Of 6725. So who do I have on behalf of Urban Oaks?
Keith Wolfshall, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Do I have someone for our first defendant, Jose Martinez?
Yes, we're here as a special appearance only, and Nicole is also in a special appearance as well.
All right. Mr. Martinez, what is the reason you're saying it's a special appearance?
This is a special appearance because we are challenging jurisdiction and
special appearance. So you're saying special appearance because you're challenging jurisdiction. You already know I told y'all what special appearance, told you what it means. It doesn't mean just because you're challenging jurisdiction. Someone, you have to step in, your lawyer, you didn't show up for court, or a lawyer make an appearance or whatever. So a special appearance is when one party, usually a defendant, shows up for a very limited purpose. Most often to challenge jurisdiction over them without agreeing to the case itself, allows the venue to argue the court lacks power and proper service without accidentally consenting to the jurisdiction of the case. But in states with traditional rules, it's a crucial way to protect of jurisdiction. Now, let's go down here. Let's go to the court rules. Special appearance court rules. Because I go by the court rules. Special appearance court rules. I do not want to get into the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Okay. So, special appearance in a court setting, right here, counsel of record, VA code right here. A party is not represented attorney, including a person confined. These are called special appearances. Now, down here, limited scope, special appearance, right? Limited scope by a qualified legal service provider. Any proceeding where attorney may file or serve on all parties notice of limited scope appearance. Providing evidence that the attorney is employed by the bar, acting pro bono, or stating that they have written authority will make a limited appearance in such actions, specifying matters, hearings, issued which attorney will appear for the party. You get that? So you got the Google definition, but the court, these are all special appearance. By leave, any attorney not proceeding under subpart F1 may seek a leave of court to make a limited scope appearance in any civil case. If such leave is granted, the appearance shall be governed by the notice requirements of subpart. So in a court legal setting, special appearance means when an attorney is coming to make an appearance on the record for whatever, whether it's limited or coming in to say, hey, my clients ain't show up today, I'm here for them. That in a legal meaning, that's what special appearance actually means. Because if that's what it really meant, what he said, and that's why you got to be careful with Google sometimes, because if it was really to challenge jurisdiction, the court wouldn't have asked them.
yes, we're here as a special appearance only, and Nicole is also in a special appearance as well.
All right. Mr. Martinez, what is the reason you're saying it's a special appearance?
Exactly. If special appearance already meant this challenging jurisdiction, why would she ask that question?
This is a special appearance because we are challenging jurisdiction and we do not participate in legal contract.
Okay. What is the reason you don't think the jurisdiction exists?
Because it has
a legal reason, not a makeup reason, not a social media online reason. What is the legal reason that the courts don't have jurisdiction per the 10th Amendment of the United States Constitution and the Constitution of the state where they reside in? How can you get around those two authorities?
To be proven. Whenever there's a challenge.
That's not a jurisdictional thing. Jurisdiction is either it's something I can't hear, but evictions are solely the province of a justice court. So the only other jurisdictional issue would be if the property is not located in the precinct.
Bam. There you go. There go you jurisdiction junkies. That's it. And once again, when you are challenging jurisdiction, the only way the court can hear that is if the plaintiff did not state a claim, procedural errors, which prohibits the judge from even hearing the case. That's the that's the challenging jurisdiction. That there's so much procedural errors or defects with their complaint, judge, you don't even have the authority to hear it. That's the jurisdiction, not the jurisdiction because this is a common law court or Article 3 court or any one of that crap you hear online. Because the 10th Amendment and the state constitutions pretty much puts an end to any of those arguments.
To your knowledge, does that?
Oh, remember, if you don't want to hear from me, I'll let the judge tell you.
That's not a jurisdictional thing. Jurisdiction is either it's something I can't hear, but evictions are solely the province of a justice court. So the only other jurisdictional issue would be if the property is not located in the precinct. To your knowledge, does that address physically fall within the bounds of precinct 3?
I don't believe it does. That there's no personal jurisdiction.
No. Personal jurisdiction can be waived per the court rules when a party shows up and answers. If the courts didn't have personal jurisdiction over you, why did you show up to court anyway?
There's no personal jurisdiction. There might be subject matter, but in order to hear a case, you have to have subject matter and personal jurisdiction at the same time.
Mr. Martinez, if you're appearing in court, you've been served, and if you are indeed an occupant, then that would be sufficient for them to have personal jurisdiction and for the court as well.
That's what we're.
Well. You're rocking with the best.
If you don't want to hear me say it, I'll let the judge tell you.
Challenging jurisdiction, and the law says that whenever we challenge jurisdiction, that the court cannot proceed unless they provide to us, both of us, Nicole Lewis and Jose Martinez, proof that y'all have any jurisdiction.
And this is the problem when you go with online ramblings. When you just hear someone say, oh, the courts don't got jurisdiction. Oh, the courts can't do this. Oh, the courts can't do that. Oh, the courts can't do this. The courts can't do that. You hear that on Facebook all the time. The courts can't do this. The courts can't do that. Oh, they can't. Do you notice how they always are saying what the courts can and can't do? You notice how they're always trying to tell you what they can or can't do, but you never see them show evidence that they're standing on that. You notice that? They never, every time I hear him say that, you know what I say? Okay, show me where you made that argument and you won. They never respond to those comments online. Okay, the courts can't do this, the courts can't do that. Okay. Since they can't do it, okay, show me a case law where the court is confirming exactly what you're saying. And they can never do it. This is why it's only theory. And people who are in desperate situations, they'll look at a comment or post and get this some type of confidence that they're about to win their court case tomorrow because of something they read on a Facebook post.
All right, well, I'll take the information from Urban Oaks, but we'll find out. All right, then, Mr. Wolfshaw, please tell me first, why don't we address the jurisdictional issue? Is this property located within the bounds of precinct 3?
According to the maps of
Whoa. You gotta tighten up, man.
yes, Your Honor, they are.
Internet just like a hall. I can't hear
the maps.
You can't hear you.
Mr. Wolfshaw, I was not able to understand you. You broke up a lot.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Is this any better?
That's better. Okay. Tell me about location. Is it in precinct 3?
My apologies, Your Honor. Can you? Okay, thank you. Yes, Your Honor. According to the maps of Travis County, the precinct, this property does lie within the precinct of precinct 3, jurisdiction of precinct 3. We'd ask the court to take judicial notice that 6725 Urban Oaks is in this precinct.
On Circle Road at Commerce and William Cannon? Mr. Wolfshaw, is that the address?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, you're breaking up on me?
Is the address 6725 Circle Road?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Wolfshaw?
Please, Wolfshaw, get your mic in order.
Oh, your internet
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This
is bad.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The address is 6725 Circle S Road, Austin, Texas, 78745.
All right, I pulled it up on the map. That is within precinct 3. So we have both personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction. So Mr. Martinez, Mr. Lewis, I do find that jurisdiction exists within our court. All right, Mr. Wolfshaw, let's go. I'm sorry, sir?
We don't consent to that unless it's proven to us in writing that there is jurisdiction.
Mr. Martinez, I'm saying that
Newsflash, they don't give two rats what you think. I don't know why y'all keep thinking this consent, or if I don't consent, it doesn't apply. You know what? Oh my gosh. I'm just going to continue to let y'all be, because you think that your consent matters in a lot of cases. You really think that they give two rats about what you consent to or not?
found proof sufficient. You can appeal if you don't agree. Okay?
Well, no, that's not the law. The law says that we have to go
to the law, Mr. Martinez.
And it's the problem. They always think they know the law. And this is when you deal with sovereign citizens. They think they got it all down pat. They think they know it all. And they'll do a whole bunch of ramblings and they don't even be saying nothing.
As long as you are showing up, the plaintiff need only show me that they have served the defendant in the result, which you've not denied that you are Jose Martinez. He has established for me that is an eviction wholly within the precedence of a justice court, and that the address for which the eviction is sought is one which is in my jurisdiction. That is all that is needed.
But also it says that we don't participate in legal contract, and that would be.
Mr. Martinez, are you currently residing in the apartment they're trying to evict you from?
I don't understand your question, and I don't understand your jurisdiction.
So when they ask these questions that everybody knows the answers to, and they know the answer is going to defeat their whole arguments, this is where you hear that I don't understand your question. I don't know what you're saying. But this is the same person that just said they know the law. So you know the law, but you just don't understand that simple question. Right.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to ask that you just be silent and let me go through the plaintiff's case, and then I will answer all of your questions for you. Okay? All right, Mr. Wolfshaw. So it's an address that's in the precinct. What's the reason the eviction is being sought?
Your Honor, this is an eviction for non-payment of rent.
Non-payment. Is there a written contract with the defendants?
There is, Your Honor. It was entered into on November 6th, 2024, and it expired on October 31st, 2025. We're now in the secondary phase.
Mr. Wolfshaw, is that contract with Jose Martinez and Nicole Lewis?
It is, Your Honor. There is a copy that was provided to the court as well.
How much is the monthly rent per that lease?
$1,464.
All right. Any subsidy?
It is not, Your Honor.
Mr. Wolfshaw, you broke up. Was that a yes or a no?
No. The last question is, it is not subsidized, Your Honor. It is not subsidized.
What months of rent have been unpaid?
October through the present.
Is this a CARES property?
It is, Your Honor.
And when was the notice provided?
September 10th of 2025 by I apologize, Your Honor. I did not write that down. Give me just one moment. Let me make sure I'm telling you the truth. All right. It was by first class and certified mail on September the 10th, 2025. It was also a 30-day notice to vacate.
All right. To your knowledge, the tenants have not vacated?
They have not vacated, Your Honor.
Okay. What unit number is it, Mr. Wolfshaw?
Yes, Your Honor. That is going to be unit 1240.
All right. Mr. Martinez, Ms. Lewis, good morning. Mr. Wolfshaw says that you have a lease with the apartment complex for unit number 1240, and he provided me with a copy of that lease. Do you recognize this document?
Yeah, that contract is expired.
Is this a contract that you entered into, Mr. Martinez?
That's not the original one. The original one was signed in wet ink. That one is signed by electronic signature.
All right. So
I just posted this on TikTok. I literally just posted this on TikTok about the what? The wet ink signature. Let me show you. Hold on. I literally just posted about this. You will know and once again, what do I always say? It's going to be some wet ink signature when today they don't need to produce the wet ink signature because we are in electronic times. Like they didn't ship a pen with you to sign and then you send it back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, you're going to be watching this live later on. You are only hurting your chances of succeeding when you request the wet ink signature, when every contract is going to be held in electronic file. It's called authoritative electronic copy. That's good enough and it's going to hold up in court. Once again, what do I always say? It's going to be some wet ink signature. Yes. When today they don't. So y'all see this person, he responds, says authoritative copy. You haven't heard anyone say authoritative copy until I came on the scene, until I brought that legal term out. Told you, they'll watch my words. They'll go back and research. Look, authoritative copy, right? Right? None of them has ever said it. None of them has ever said it before. Authoritative copy. Authoritative copy. But as soon as you see me in my latest videos and copies, now they'll come back to me and say, authoritative copy. They'll literally come back and tell me where I really taught them a new term and come say it to me like they're trying to tell me something. Look at this. I broke that term authoritative copy weeks ago. Before that, nope, I've never heard none of these gurus say it. Now you follow me, you watch me, and now you come back and tell my words to me. This is what they do. They come tell my words back to me like they just came up with it all by themselves.
you have a contract that you signed. Is it for the apartment number?
And this is why I don't teach like that in public. If I was to release just 25% of what I really know, you'll hear all these gurus online the next week selling it.
Number 1240 there at 6725 Urban Oaks.
It was, but it's expired.
All right, are you still currently residing in unit 1240?
Yes, we are.
When's the last time you paid rent?
I'm not sure.
All right, the landlord here says that the rent is $14.64 a month. Is that correct?
I'm not sure because we were getting assistance from a foundation for the
Per your lease, what does it say in the lease that you said you signed? On this one, I see it to be $14.64.
Right. That's probably the foundation was paying for that. So they were the ones that were doing all the paperwork for us.
Do you have any proof that they are paying the rent on your behalf? Because the lease says that y'all owe it.
Yes, we do have proof. They were sending checks from City of Austin Foundation for the Homeless to the apartment complex that they were paying the rent.
All right. Do you know if rent has been paid for October?
I'm not sure.
Ms. Lewis, do you know if rent has been paid on behalf of October?
I'm unaware.
All right, and Mr. Lewis or Mr. Martinez, Ms. Lewis, have either of you made payment, or do you know if payment has been made for November?
We're not sure.
All right, well, they do find the landlord has met their burden then to show that per their information in the ledger and the lease, rent remains unpaid for the past 2 months. Mr. Wolfstrom, are you wanting to prorate the rent through the hearing or through the appeals deadline?
Your Honor, just for today, I calculated that as $3,028.
All right, so you are prorating?
Yes, Your Honor, we're prorating.
Today is the 18th, so for 18 days, I got $48.80. So that's $878.40. So with that and the $14.64 for October, judgment for the plaintiff, $2,342.40. If either party wishes to appeal, we'll put that at just the 1 month of rent. That'll be $14.64.
Once again, what else do you have to lose? You have nothing else to lose. Look at this. All you're going to do is go out there and continue to lose. That's all you're going to do.
Ms. Martinez, Ms. Lewis, you both have at least 5 days to appeal before the landlord can seek a writ of possession. We will send you the information related to that. I'll highlight for you, for all parties actually, in a non-payment case, you may be able to appeal, and if you've been receiving assistance from a rental agency, you might even qualify to appeal for free. However, if you want to stay in that apartment while the case is being heard to another court, you do have to pay full rent of $14.64, but you pay it to the court, and we'll send you specific information about that. All right. Any questions?
All right, because I know a lot of your arguments are sort of
Another loss. And tonight we are going.
It's on your car at 8 o'clock.
This right here was oh God. You just got to watch.
I am Jada Bay, formerly Jada Davis. I killed Jada Davis. I left Jada Davis, that all cap name, at the Thomas Eagleton Courthouse, federal courthouse.
And this is the level of insanity where it's become. Instead of learning from a professional setting, legal setting that will help keep your insanity, they want to do and talk like this. More the reason why.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume, war stories in the fine lines.
Okay.
Sarah E. Picnic, the judge, and John A. Ross, the judge. Sarah E. Picnic has Davis. I told her, keep that colonizer's last name. So there is no Jada Davis.
Wait a second. Did this Moorish woman just confess to a murder? Wow. This is insane.
John E. Ross has that social security number, 494-805255. He should have retired it. He should have surrendered it to the Social Security Department.
Did she just really broadcast her social security number? I know she thinks that she returned her social security number back to the colonizers, but none of that makes sense. And it's still her actual social security number. and she actually just broadcast that number in this video.
That is
this lady needs to be in a mental.
One, there was no Jada Davis. 2022, there is no Jada Davis. Any contracts, anything that's been done in Jada Davis' name, these European colonizers, John A. Ross, and perhaps Sarah E. Picnic are operating and conspiring and acting in concert to commit crimes to rob, formerly me, Jada Davis. So they're getting things in Jada Davis' name while I'm living in this nasty-ass roach-infested hotel.
Excuse me, Miss Bay, but what in the doohickey are you talking about? Those people that you're saying is charging up stuff in your name, I'm pretty sure it's not them. Ma'am, you just gave out your name and social security number in a video. It could be literally anyone making fake charges and charging things in your name. Stop giving out your name and social security, lady. This more science got your brain on drugs. Look at you. You look crazy.
Or signature, like that apartment at 3190 Santiago Drive, apartment 0, alphabet O. Randall John Rinker, the owner of it, the Grove red brick apartment. Yeah. Someone and Molly E. Daughtry, the attorney that showed up and wanted to talk to me, which is a complete stranger to me, a hunky I've never seen. She's acting in concert and is in conspiring to rob me and took $5,000 off my name. Robert M. Hagee, the judge out there at the St. Louis County Court, 21st Court, Circuit Court, they're all acting in concert to rob me. Had me come in there in August of 2019 twice. I signed nothing. I went with a LaWanda Love. The guy that followed me out the courtroom to ask me to leave an address, I didn't fill out that envelope. When I went with what's his name, Levante Lewis Bay, who's being charged with stealing a house out there in the county, I went with him. I never signed anything. In fact, when I went with him, the bailiff, this big fat Mexican, put his stomach on my chest, telling me to leave the courtroom. So who forged my signature out there at that court?
Okay, so you show up.
Robert M. Hagee. When I pull out this Missouri statute, these revised statutes, when I pull out these laws, that I can come out there and hang your punk ass, I'm coming to hang your ass. And anybody else that's in cahoots, acting in concert with your ass, Jim Buckles, that Bell Fountain, the sheriff out there, and the Bell Fountain Police Department, oh, I'm coming around there to hang some of you motherfuckers too. You bit me up backwards with my hand behind my back. I couldn't walk away from that Bell Fountain Police station. Oh, yeah. I'm coming to hang you motherfuckers with the law.
Oh, God.
So you can do right and say, keep that rope off your fucking neck. Or you ain't got to, because I'm coming with that motherfucker. You fuck with the wrong nigger. You motherfucker hunkies should have taken the time to do right. Go back, backtrack, and correct all these wrongs that you did. But you ain't got to, and I'm glad you didn't, because I'm going to get my nuts off. What did Ice Cube say? I want to bust a nut shooting Chris Rock punk at whoever that motherfucker was, and New Jack said it, yeah. I'm ready to bust a nut fucking hanging you motherfuckers. So do what you've been doing. Make yourself happy. Your days are numbered. I'm coming with you motherfuckers. My weapon of choice is alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up to the letter Z. I'm gonna hang you motherfuckers with your own goddamn shit. Get ready, bitches.
So apparently this is...
Take your time. especially at the back. Me from a 00 number that I can't call. 00 calls on my phone. And this is for you game players. Nobody runs Jada Bay. I run me. Fuck you and anybody that told you anything otherwise. Play games with me and I'm gonna play some games with you motherfuckers. I'll run you motherfuckers. You see how they trying to intimidate you dumb niggers. See how they turn them over? Let me turn it over. So you can see that they put all these on in one day. McDonald at 8:42. They supposed to stop putting tickets on your car at 8 o'clock. No time. 7. This all about McDonald. This one, no, wait a minute, it might be 2. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother.
Now, what you're witnessing here is the after effects of canceling all corporate contracts. This more sovereign citizen listened to Light Tajiri Bey and Taj Tariq Bey, and she canceled all corporate contracts. So what that means is she unregistered her vehicle, and now she's getting countless tickets. And she's going to continue to get countless tickets until she re-registers her car the correct way. Or more than likely, she's just going to lose the car altogether because she's clearly nuts and she's not going to pay the tickets. So as you can see, more science is clearly ruining people's lives.
All corporations on this continent is supposed to be for public use. Any corporation outside of the proclamation line is illegal. You're not supposed to build nothing and charge the Indians to stay on their own. Drop dead, I did. On Eagle Spring Golf Course. I did a 180 on a ballerina toe and dropped dead and then rose like the Phoenix. Flew backwards. Did a Superman stretch in the direction which I come from, took the stroke, rose up upon that stroke with the inertia, and then at the peak, went backwards with the distance and hang time better than Michael Jordan. I can give you drop dead. Yahoo! I'm Google for Google Bumps! Who calling me at 10:55 from 000?
Ma'am, listen to me. Are you listening to me? Listen really close, okay? You don't get the judgment. I'm not the person to give you legal advice. Let me ask you a question. Here's what I'm asking you.
Come on.
Not about that and about them. Why? I'm asking you. That
and I'm
question.
just telling you right now.
Because to me, oh my God, you don't even understand. You completely missed what I'm saying to you.
I think you missing what I'm saying.
Back then, you was understanding what I was saying. Today, you acting brand new.
This mom is suing for $800 over a paternity test, but she's about to get a priceless lecture she definitely didn't ask for. The judge tries to explain that her son dodging a teen pregnancy is a victory, but she is just too focused on the cash to see the lesson here. It's a classic case of missing the forest for the trees, or in this case, missing the condom for the court case. Who do you guys think should pay for the test? The accuser or the son? Let's dive in.
Okay, back on the record in Thames versus Courtroom.
Yes, I'm here. This is Latoya, and I came down to the courtroom. What I'm trying to find out, Your Honor, because we see that Letitia not gonna pay. She not gonna show up. I'm trying to find out where is like the judgment at for it, for what you had granted for her to pay the $800 to me out of the $1,700. So I'm trying to find that so that way I can.
Ma'am, I thought we talked about this.
What's that?
We talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about it, but the lady, when I came down there, she was saying that you was under the impression like I was Letitia and wanted me to get back on Zoom. Because the total cost of the test was $1,700 and you granted her to pay me $800 because you said it wasn't fair for me to pay the whole thing by myself.
That's what you and the mediator agreed to. I didn't do that.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to get a judgment so that way I can go forward with trying to collect my money.
You got to go through, ma'am.
Okay.
I thought I explained this. I did explain this. I definitely explained this. I said, and this takes us back to the day when you guys did the agreement. You are now, because I had dismissed the case.
Okay, so was it ever?
Ma'am, listen to me. Are you listening to me? Listen really close, okay? When you guys came up with the agreement, I dismissed the case because you guys had an agreement. Nobody won, nobody lost. The case was dismissed because there was an agreement. So if she didn't follow through with the agreement, we go back to reinstating the case and we have to go forward from that point. In other words, you can have a hearing and a trial and all of that. That's what I explained to you before.
Okay.
You don't get the judgment. You don't get the judgment based on the agreement. That was an out-of-court settlement, so to speak. If that fell through, we go back to two squares the plaintiff. She's the defendant. You got to prove it. She gets to fight over it, and we have a trial. You understand now?
Kinda, because I don't even be in court situations, so this is all new to me. So my point of the matter was that it's just kind of hard for me to keep getting off of work to come to court when I'm working in school full time for nursing and my clinicals is finna graduate. So they aren't gonna let me keep taking off. So I was just trying to get the judgment when I came down there for the last court stuff. They gave me a printout of some paperwork and it was a gentleman down there that says he handled judgments and to get back in contact with him. That's why.
What we're looking at here is a screenshot of a sovereign citizen scammer showing how much credit he has scammed the bank. Now, the next clip we're going to jump into is a doozy. Okay? Because unfortunately for him, the gig is up and the banks are about to snatch away all of his credit. He thought that he can continue to scam and it would never catch up with him. Well, Bob, unfortunately for you.
And look at these idiots at the bottom. Look at these idiots at the bottom. 225 likes, 42. because half of these people in these spaces all want to get something and don't pay for it. So they want people to teach them how to just get free shit.
The bank's caught on to your scam.
Yo, what's up, family? How y'all doing? Man, I really can't believe this, right? So, I was going to my P.O. box and everything, right? And so when I opened up a letter, it was from Chase. Chase told me in a letter, they said, hey, we decided to close all of your accounts, right? They closed the checking account. They said they're going to close the my Chase business account, not my business account, but all of my personal accounts, including my personal credit card. Now, a lot of people will be wondering, like, why would they do that, right? So before I applied for an auto loan, but they sent me a letter that say valid social security number is required. So since they never could validate the social security number, which is the EIN number, months later, they decided that they were going to close it. But they told me that they was going to close it in advance, right? So I'm going to tell y'all something, right? In the meantime, I had the credit card with them, and I also had my credit card on my business side with them. My limit was $27,500. My personal side credit card limit was $5,000 limit, right? At the time when they're about to close it. Once I got the letter in the mail, I was like, what the heck? Is they really about to close my accounts? So they told me on the 30th of June that all of my accounts would be closed, right? But they didn't include the business side. And guess what I just done? I'm like, hold on, why are they closing my accounts? And I did less talking and more walking. So what I did was I maxed out every credit card I have, and I spent it all on business.
So they're still going to sue you for the.
You guys heard what he just said. He just said he got a letter from Chase saying that they were going to close all of his accounts. So what he rushes to do is further scam the banks and max out all of his credit cards. What type of idiot is going to leave a testimonial of his crime that he just committed on the internet? This guy is a complete fool. Sir, what you just did was illegal, and now you left video evidence of your crime. Now, the bank shouldn't have sent him a letter warning him that they were going to cut off his credit card. They should have just cut off his credit card and everything else, and that would have been that. So that's something that the banks are going to have to deal with. But sir, why would you leave a video testimonial of how you further scam the bank? This literally is insane. This man is just like, his brain is, it doesn't function correctly, because this is just dumb. Now, to his followers, this is a clear indication that all of the crap that he teaches on how to scam and EIN this and that, none of that stuff is valid. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you the same way it did with him, and they're going to cut everything off. Now, sir, you're still on the hook for the money. It doesn't matter that you maxed it out before they cut the card off. The money that you owe is still tied to your name and your business. So you're still eventually going to have to pay off the credit card, and then it's going to ruin your credit. Like, you are a complete moron, sir.
And so when I bought all my business supplies, I made all the down payments for my office. I made my payment toward the website, everything. So all business expenses is taken care of. So in the meantime, when I maxed the card out, I maxed literally the whole $27,500 out, strictly business investments. Told me when I called them, they're like, hey, your account is subjected to be closed. I'm like, what? Of closure? I'm like, really? And like, if they hit the personal side, I talked to the Chase representative. They said, we closed one account. We're really going to close all of them. And I said, is there any reason? He said, Chase is not required to give us any reason. They can just do it at their own time. I'm like, really? Maxed it out just like that. And damn, I had a good time with Chase.
This dude is a complete idiot.
You do realize when you max it out and they close your accounts down because of suspected fraud, which is all you do, which is all these sovereign citizens teachers do. It's all fraud. Get something, don't pay for it. It's all fraud that they're doing under the guise of learning my rights, teaching my rights, enforcing my rights. No, the reality is it's all fraud. That's all it is. You do know they're going to sue you, and you do know they're going to get a judgment. And you know you got to pay that $27,000 back, plus court fines, plus fees, plus attorney costs. You know you got to pay that back, but they're not going to let you get away with it. And you're dealing with one of the biggest banks in the world, Chase. They're going to get their money back.
That he had a good time with Chase. Oh yeah, you had a good time stealing Chase's money. Like, you are an idiot, sir. Why are you doing this testimonial? This will be held as evidence against you in court when Chase comes after you, and you're gonna still have to pay the money back, fool.
Like, I'm not gonna take no chance. I'm not gonna sit right there and say, man, I lost $20-some thousand in credit. I'll invest the $27,000, bow your inventory out, pay up your rent, and you can just live free just like that, because I don't got to touch my real money. You know, as long as I'm touching credit and I ain't using my real social, I'm good. I'm always in a private. But in the meantime, it's like, man,
it's not private. They keep saying this. You know what private means? Private means scam. Private means fraud. Put everything into trust. You know what that means? Thinking that putting your property into trust, you're not going to be responsible for paying it. No, they'll literally tell you, or put your house into trust. Number one, I don't give a damn if you put it in the Great Tomb of Pharaoh. If it's still subject to a lien by the bank, you putting it in a trust don't mean nothing. You putting it in a trust, it's not going to stop nothing. It doesn't mean that they can't collect anymore. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be responsible for it. It doesn't mean nothing. Living in a private means trying to hide your liability so you don't have to pay the debt back. That's all it means when they say living in a private.
And I really wanted to build something with them. Hopefully I can. So if they decide that they don't want to close it, a couple months down the line, I'll put the money back on the card and ask for an increase. And if they pull some stuff like that again and they increase it to 50,000, I'm gonna max the whole 50 out too. You always got to think a step ahead, because you never know what these banks plan on doing. Remember, they told, I went on YouTube and I looked at people who had, you know, regular lives, you know, and they use their social security number with Chase, and they said they've been a value customer at Chase for over 18 years, and they had A1 credit, 800.
Now they talking about using your social security number, and they've been with them for 18 years, because that's what it requires: a valid social security number, valid identifying numbers where they can identify you. Not a VPN, not a CPN, not none of that crap. And one thing that you'll notice about sovereign citizens, they never have any intent on paying anything back. Oh, they get a line of credit, 5,000-10,000. They're going to max that 10,000 out, and as soon as it comes time to pay, fraud. Where's the wet ink signature? It's only when it's time to pay where they miraculously discover the scam.
The credit score, and Chase just closed all of their accounts out of the blue. He said they just gave me matter of fact, they gave everybody a notice. So if they're about to close it, they give you like 30 days in advance to let you know, clear out your accounts, and everything like that. So I cleared out my accounts and I also cleared out their credit cards, because why would I not clear out the credit cards? That'd be stupid to me. I want to clear out the credit cards. I'm clearing out every account. Why? Like, that's
because, and the reason why you're clearing them out, because you want to be able to spend all that before they close it, because you have no intention on paying that back. So you're going to get your accounts closed. Taquan, I know exactly who you are. Taquan X, you still owe me 10 racks because you made a post 2 years ago saying, show any evidence of anyone succeeding by doing this. I sent you the text message and I showed you. I said, yo, what's up, man? I don't even want the 10 racks. I just want you to say, well, I at least know someone. And you didn't do that. You text me back saying, hey, yo, I'm going to get back with you. You never got back with me. So I'll be honest with you, Taquan, you still owe me 10 racks because I proved you wrong and I texted it to you. But anyways,
that's the best thing to do. Honestly, in my opinion, that's the best thing to do. Is clear all your accounts, clear all your credit cards and everything like that.
No. Do not take his advice. The only people that's going to take his advice are the peoples who never had any intentions on paying it back anyway to keep that relationship open. They'll make a couple payments in the beginning, but once their available credit is less than their balance due, this is when all the scams and the frauds come into play.
And yeah, so I spent $27,500 plus another $5,000. I want to say that's 33. I want to say that's $33,500 maxed out credit, and I still got another credit card that I still can use. And it's another thing. I think I got a lot of agents, because every time I get with a bank and everything going good, it's always an agent probably call Chase like, "Hey, this guy, he's a major scammer. I need you guys to close this account." And they probably looked at my my YouTube channel, Navy.
No, that's not what it is. Once they uncover your scams, your fraud, that's when the issue comes up. It's not an agent. It's not this, oh, they just don't want us to know our rights, or why would they make it public? It's all BS. None of that is the reality. The reality is once they uncover the fraud, they shut you down. This is why you move from bank to bank, hitting them frauds into you get slapped with a federal crime. And then we're going to see how all this jurisdiction talk that you work. We're going to see what you really about when you got to sit up in front of them federal charges, because none of that sovereign citizen stuff works. Don't work in the state, and it really don't work in the feds. Oh, they are going to shut you down. You can't even get a syllable out. They're going to shut it down. That's why none of them ever win.
Federal was called by an agent. That's because when I called them about the lien release, they was on the phone. They sounded kind of weird, like they was hearing something. So I couldn't verify if they really, been talking to somebody. So I always keep myself ahead of the game. So if I feel like I got $27,500 worth of credit, and I feel like my account finna go, that credit finna go, I gotta hurry up. I told myself, I said, hurry. So what I did, a portion just cover the rent for a couple months. The other portion cover my business office. The other portion cover all my office supplies, like my new laptop, my new desktop, my new iPad, right? I ain't get a laptop, but I got a desktop, an iMac, right?
All because of fraud and scams. It's not I'm living in a private, these are my rights. It's all fraud and scams. No agent was on the phone. No agents blocking you. You never have intent on paying none of that shit back anyway.
What else I had covered? I had bought all of my equipment that I sell on Amazon. I bought way more equipment. Then I bought hella more equipment, right? So all that's coming in the mail. One package just came today. What else? And then I was like, all my business stuff set up right. So all the business stuff straight. So I ain't got to worry about home expenses. I don't have to worry about business stuff or none of that. All that stuff is straight. Now, next thing I got to do. What else? So the best thing to do after this is, keep building it, keep leveraging it out. So whatever I invest into, if I can leverage that to 40,000 and leverage that to 60, 70,000 and keep leveraging the money down the line, everything's straight. But yeah, I just wanted to explain.
So basically what he's doing, he's using fake EIN numbers or some type of CPN to put in as a social security number. So once they catch it, he's already got the credit. So when they send him notice that they're going to close the account, he's going to go spend all the credit out and then going to try again at the next spot. These are nothing more than sovereign citizen scams. I've been told you, Taquan X, everything that you talk about, everything you're doing is predicated on a scam. But if you really want to understand from a legal professional point of view, backed by real professionals.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby. Folder thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
Saying that, tell you guys that, but yeah, I got a letter in the mail that said they're going to close all of my accounts, but I don't want to take no chances. I don't want to be like, okay, I just pulled the credit back. No, because if you send that to collections, you charge off the loan, I can take that off to an FTC report. But I don't plan on doing that. I really want to build with Chase. That's actually one of my favorite banks. But if they want to play this way, we can. And that's why my other bank, I'm not even going to talk about my other bank. I don't even want to talk.
Anybody with a credit card that's had a credit card with a bank for an extended period of time, have they ever just came with you out the blue saying we're closing down your account? If you've been paying your monthly, payments on time, no suspected fraud, no unusual spending. Has any of y'all ever just got a phone call out the blue or a letter, hey, we closing all your stuff down? I'm going to give you a reason. See, if you notice, he never told you why, definitively why they're closing the accounts down. I'm going to tell you why. Because of fraud. See, he didn't want to tell y'all fraud because this is all part of, I guess, these courses and packages, how he teaches people to use fake social security numbers or fake identifier numbers to get credit, max the credit out, and then do some type of discharge method so you don't have to pay. That's the name and game of all these gurus. No deep dive understanding, no real professional level, no court case and litigation implemented into your administrative claims. Oh, none of that. It's all get something for nothing, get something and use some tactics and stuff to get out of paying it.
About nothing else online, because every time I touch something good and try to teach the people who want to learn this, it's like every time the bank catch on to something, and
because it's not legit from the beginning. It's fraud. Just say it. They don't want to say it. They try to water it down or teach you legit or teach you your rights or teach. It's fraud. Anything dealing with sovereign citizen, anything dealing with use this to discharge your debt, anything to use that deals with not paying a bill, not paying the bill with real money. It's all fraud. No matter if they put a bill of exchange on it, using the act of Congress, HJR 192, it doesn't matter. It's all fraud. All they do is teach you is how to get things and not pay for it.
And something like that, but
fool. It's not just the mere fact that you're posting stuff online. The banks are going to eventually find out that you're scamming. None of the stuff that you do actually works. This moron is so airheaded that he doesn't realize that this video is actually damaging to the stuff that he preaches and teaches. It shows that none of the crap that he's teaching to you guys on how to scam banks actually works. He's showing you that eventually the banks are gonna catch up to it and cut everything off. So he's actually debunking himself, and he's so dumb he doesn't even realize that. Like this, I just don't even understand how people could actually follow somebody who's clearly not intelligent. Like,
because true science. These are the same people that think like him. These are the same people who wants to get stuff and not pay for it. These are the same people who would love to believe that there's a secret $1 billion account in all of our names. These are mainly the people who finances and life is kicking them in the ass, and they don't have any other outcomes. They don't have any other ways. They can't use their brain. They can't strategize. They don't want to learn the system. They're very impatient. They're mentally lazy. So anything that promises quick, fast results, large sums of money, not being financially liable for the things that you sign up for with these contracts, getting something on credit and not having to pay it back, living this fairy tale where life is just debt free. You go pick out a house you don't got to pay for. Go pick out a car you don't got to pay for. Oh, you don't have to pay with this form of money. You can pay with this form of money. We all know what legit money is in the United States. Federal Reserve notes, credit, debits, wire transfers, and checks that are written on an account that you have legal and immediate access to. Everyone, open up your mobile app and look at your checking account. Whatever is sitting on that checking account, that is the maximum amount that you can write a check for. I mean, and it's a shame that I got to sit here and break it down like this when we all know just through lived experiences, this is how the United States of America works. But once you become so aware, then there's another side of the system that they're just going to push the bottom button under the desk and they're going to open up all these things to you. And the only way you can get it is you got to learn the system. You got to figure out the secret. So when you figure out the secret, they're going to put a different hat on and start accepting these fraudulent things. But since you don't know and you're not aware, and you don't let them know that you know, because remember, they already know this stuff. They're just waiting for an individual to show up so they can know that they know, and then they're going to open up all the free assets and riches that the United States has to offer, and you can float from lily pad to lily pad. But if you don't know, then they're going to treat you different. If you don't get the hell out of here, you sound ridiculous.
You're making a damaging video about your teachings, and you're also making a testimonial that is incriminating you. This literally makes no sense. Why would you do this?
But it's like I always win because I play the cat. I play the cat and mouse game. It's like you got to catch me. Like if I find anything loose or weird, I'm taking them gone. I'm fast. Like you ever heard?
There you go. Cat and mouse. The difference between him and us, we don't play the cat and mouse game. Nah, we don't play the cat and mouse game. We meet them head up. That's what we meet them, head up. Lawsuit for lawsuit, document for document, motion for motion. We meeting them head up.
You're rocking with the best.
Like Dora the Explorer, swipe no swiping. I'm swipe no swiping. I have to get it, and then I have to make sure I secure something, because if I just have all that credit and y'all close the accounts and I just didn't do nothing, I would be a slave. Like just imagine all $30-some thousand of credit. People don't even make $30,000 in a year after taxes. So imagine I got all that in credit and I ain't even touch it because I'm scared. Someone's no, I don't want to max out my car. You a damn slave.
This is why he has a poverty mindset. 98% of these online gurus have a poverty mindset. They are no different from the people that you're trying to teach. A poverty mindset through and through. He thinks that getting into all these legal troubles for $30,000 is actually going to be worth it. He thinks that $30,000 is actually worth it. Sir, everybody is not just trying to scrape by in life every day for years. There are actually some people who are self-sufficient and are doing pretty good for themselves. Not everybody has a poverty mindset. Not everybody looks at 30,000 like, oh, it's the second coming of Christ. I mean, there's been some times where I made $37,000, $38,000 in 1 month with real receipts. It's not that all much big of a deal.
Take that off your consumer credit report. And then the one for $27,000, that's under the business. They won't even hit the personal side for like 3-4 months. And by the time they even hit the personal side, I'm been take that off my EIN. And it's under the EIN, it's not even under the social. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like you want to protect yourself in so many ways, y'all. You know, you want to make sure that the bag is secure. The same way I do with Navy. Navy, they was kind of acting weird, so I bought the truck. And when they acting weirder, once I got the truck, I didn't sign a promissory note, and I took it off my credit just like that. So
just because you remove something off your credit does not mean the obligation is dead. Just because you get something removed off your credit does not mean you still don't have to pay for it. A lot of people think that just because you get something removed off your credit, if the underlying obligation that's associated with that truck has not been satisfied, removing it is not going to stop them from coming after you. Let's not mix those two things up. Actually, getting the item removed off your credit is easier than getting that debt associated with that item satisfied, or you being no longer legally responsible for it. That's the impressive part.
You know, it's always a win-win situation. It don't matter what happened. I can lose. Amax can tell me, hey, we decided to close your car. I know a female right now I was telling y'all about. She got a $400,000 limit. So just imagine Amax tell her, hey, we're going to close your account in 30 days. If she don't max that whole $400,000 out, she's a slave. Because now this is what you want to do. If you ever in a position where, you know, your bank about to close your card and all that stuff, this is what you want to do. You really want to have a business account, but you want to set up a merchant account. Because if you set up a merchant payment processor, you can have that sent to your home and see if you got a business credit card under another business. You could tap the card and transfer over as much as you want. So if you got a $400,000 limit, don't move the whole fold. They're not going to let that slide. You can at least move 50. Then you take a 10, move 40. Then you move 30. Then you move 40. Then you move another one. You get it? But you buy different things. You buy investments. Really don't just blow your money like an idiot. Just buy investments. Go to Alibaba, buy you some inventory. You know, go to Apple Store. Like me, I got tax exempt everything. The business department work with you and they give you a discount on everything. And you keep flipping your money like that. Don't be wasting no time like that. I'm out. Peace and love.
This dude just sat there and literally started teaching people how to scam the banks. But at the same time, he's also sharing how the banks caught up with his scam and about to close all of his accounts. Now, I don't understand why anybody would actually listen to this man, but all I can say is listen to him. If you listen to him, you are going to wind up in jail.
The biggest problem is that most people are just looking for the easy way out. That easy way out does not exist. The easy way out does not exist. They think it does. They think it does, but it doesn't exist. All these schemes and all those tricks of the trades to get you out of an obligation, all those tricks of the trades to get you out of an obligation, all those schemes to not have to pay for something, moving the credit over here. If they say they're going to shut your account down, go max it out. What if they sue you in court for the balance? You see what I'm saying? Like they never think past go. And this is why you're still going to have people online selling a generic discharge your auto. The loan was already paid off. Buy this template for $222 and it's going to get your loan paid off. And most people associate that with, okay, I don't got to pay this bill anymore. And my car note is more than this document. And that's the key part right there. The car note is more than the document. There goes that low-hanging fruit mentality. The car note is more expensive than this document. So what the teachers have done is they know it doesn't work. They know there's no real value in it. They know it's not. So they don't really have to price it at $500, $600, $700 because they know there's no real value in it. All they did was just put the documents from Scribd and take this out and switch it up and come up with their own template, throw a little AI in there, and bam, right? The thing about it is the average person, they're not looking at it as something that is so valuable and so powerful that all I have to do is just send this document in and I'm not going to be responsible for the payment anymore. All I got to do is just send a document in and they're just going to cease collections. I mean, that's all I got to do. I mean, that's all I got to do. So the question is, why would they only sell this for $200? I mean, they should be selling this for thousands and thousands. It's this powerful. Why only 200? See, they never look at it from that standpoint. You know how they look for it as? Ooh, I can afford the 200 because they're coming with a bargain poverty mindset, always trying to get the maximum out without putting the maximum out the situation by putting minimal money. They got this frugal poverty mindset when it comes to accounting, taxes, court, legal. They all think that you're supposed to get the top-notch information and education and understanding for $150 because $150 is all they can afford or willing to spend. But they want the value which you get back to be 100 times more than that. And this is the reason why in 2026, nothing is going to change for these people. Nothing's going to change. They're going to find themselves in these spaces for decades to come, just posting in the comments, just spewing out their frustration or how they see it because they read some confirmation bias book and it's confirming what they believe is true, and then they come online and spew it like it's reality. But when you hold them under the judicial light and ask them to prove it from case law, where you got the courts confirming what you're saying is true, they all go crickets. They never respond to that question online. They never respond. Or what they'll do is they'll cite some Black's Law dictionary or some We the People website documents. I'm saying, no, show authoritative case law where the courts have ruled in favor, similar to the claims that you talk about breaking, and none of them can do it. None of them can do it. I am the only one, besides real legal professionals, who is ever going to show you case law to support what he said. Without further ado, y'all, the new Culture Empire 2026, we going even harder. Supreme Elite team, I will see y'all later on tonight in the group.
Empire Talk, Boardroom Aura, New Culture, we set order. Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume, war stories in the fine line. Supreme Elite, circle around the table, every seated throne. Consumer finance in his bloodstream, built it from a student loan. He can read a balance sheet like a judge retone. See the trap in every clause before the ink is dried on. They sell dreams on installments, he just audit the spell. Break a predatory scheme down to decimal hell. Securitization flow, turn a contract to a bond chain. He can trace the money trail backwards in a rainstorm. Same lane, receipts in a briefcase, dates, times, bank names. You bring vibes to the courtroom, he bring numbers in case names. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet. Read with these. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet. Read with these. He's seen lenders flip scripts, turn a whip to a shackle. Interest climbing every month to your paycheck battle. But he peeled back price and APR under the mask. See the spread versus the funding, who's skimming off the past. He no chalk off, roll rates, lost curves in his sleep. How they package up defaults and sell pain on Wall Street. He cross-check statements with the filings in the forecast. Find a misstep and turn one comma to a court clash. Consumer on the stand, heart racing in the cheap suit. He translate legalese, the plain talk, clean truth. Litigation in his left hand, excel in his right. Tell the judge what the bank did, cell by cell, line by line. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. They move in the margins, he read in between. They hide it in footnotes, he pull it on screen. From the boroughs to the boardroom, same concrete. Thomas built a whole empire off one word, receive. He paid vision, JD rhythm in his cadence. Double check the debits, then dismantle all the plaintiffs. Underrated models, he can see where they cheat. Assumptions too rosy on a loss rate sheet. Dockets on the desk, he aligned them like a chessboard. Case law, cash flows, every step next chord. Supreme Elite follow, blueprints not gossip, they talk back. He talk tax, keep profit, new culture empire. This is financial defense, teaching credit as a weapon, not a lifelong sentence. From credit acceptance battles to the hallways of appeal, Thomas turned every closed door to a signed, sealed deal. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts receipts, line by line, don't smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, read with ease. Supreme elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts, line by line, don't smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, read with ease.
Running in bang, whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van, smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, I can't glance. You look like you wanna let go of stress. What's up? I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on a band. What's up? I thought so, okay, yeah. Running in bang, whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van, smoking that leaf on global band. It's bang, fresh white tee, chrome on the rim, big body slide, whole block looks slim. Wrist on chill, but the boy too hot. Turn my last L to a key to the spot. Plug on the phone, said say let's slide. Came from the back, now we front row live. Couch full of cash, can't sit, can't fold. Used to pray for a play, now it's overload. Run it bang, bang. Whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global. Ooh, ooh, expand. Blue, 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 blue. Shorty too thick, attitude too. Say she want a boss, not a boy in the crew. Stamp my name on the side of her glass. Say she feel safe when I'm hitting the gas. Mama in the crib, fridge stay packed. All them long nights, put food in the stack. Talk about stay down, I really did that. From the floor to the floor type check. Had nothing but hope in a half tank. Now it's 10 toes down, all gas. No thanks, if they cross that line, that's a bad move. We don't double back, we just improve. Run it up, running big rain. Whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global. Expand.
You're rocking with the best.